Okay, so today is kind of like a wrap-up video on emotional freedom technique, and I wanted to share some more success stories with you. And just to go over the basic principles again, I just wish everyone would try this for 30 days. I really think a 30-day trial is going to give you the best opportunity to see, does tapping have any effect on my life? Does emotional freedom technique have any effect? And I'm going to share some stories in a minute that I think is going to prove the point that this could be really worth your time. And how much time are we talking? 2 or 3, 4 minutes in the morning, 2 or 3, 4 minutes in the evening, not that much. Hey, you're tuned into David Essel Live, David Essel's Daily Video Boost, and it's an exclusive online video community where you can just go ahead and sit back every day, take notes, do something you don't want to do, and radically change your life. That's the whole concept of the program. So let's talk about it again. Emotional freedom technique or tapping. I'm going to tell you some success stories. So a woman came in that had gone through a terrible sexual assault, had worked with, I don't know how many, 2, 3, 4 other counselors, hadn't done any work in 20 years. And then she got into a relationship and she found herself pushing the man away constantly. Like, she didn't know why she was so afraid. Well, logically thinking, we'd go, well, it makes a lot of sense if you didn't clear up the past. But when you're in that situation, you can't really equate. You go, that was 20 years ago. It can't have anything to do with it. As we started working together, now remember, it happened 20 years ago. She hadn't dated that much. She got into a very intense, serious relationship. 2 years, the guy hung in there with her, trying to figure out if they can make it work. And he didn't know why she kept pushing him away, kept putting up blocks, kept saying, I don't want to go any deeper. I don't want to go any deeper. They were in a pretty deep relationship. So we worked together, and with everything else that we do, the journaling exercises and other things I gave her, she had done the tapping for about 30 days, and she came in and she said, I can't believe it. I allowed him to sleep in the same bed last week. Like, she had had this rule with him that she didn't want any man to sleep with her. He could sleep in the other room, but he couldn't sleep with her. And all of a sudden she said, after 30 days of doing this, David, I don't know what happened, but I felt comfortable. Emotional freedom technique. On the totally opposite spectrum, I worked with a guy who was an entrepreneur that could never break 100,000 a year. He did the emotional freedom technique. Now, I have to also tell you this, it wasn't the silver bullet. It was one of many things we did, and he did a lot of scary things in 12 months. 12 months later, he had doubled his income. And when I asked him what he thought the biggest breakthrough was, he said, well, the very first thing was coming in and paying you that amount of money, which I thought was a great answer. And then he said, but the other thing was, he goes, I really think I've started to feel more comfortable. He could never speak in front of people. And after doing the emotional freedom technique, phase 1, 2, and 3, for 30 days, he was on stage in front of 20, 30, 40, 50 people speaking freely. That was what he had wanted to work on with emotional freedom technique, was his fear of being on stage. So those are just 2 totally different examples of the power of emotional freedom technique when you do it twice a day, every day, a minimum of 30 days, in the format that I showed you, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. It's got to be done like that, okay? You can't just jump to phase 3. Plus, both of these people did a ton of extra homework, journaling work, into their fears. Where did they start? Into their blocks. Where did they start, right? So, but I think emotional freedom technique has a big role, or I wouldn't be spending this much time on the Daily Boost telling you how much I love it. So let's put it into action, okay? And if you need help with this, if you say, okay, I've watched this whole week of David's videos on emotional freedom technique or tapping, and I really want some one-on-one help, email me. Email me at talkdavid.com. We'll do sessions together and we'll get it really grounded. Don't forget to let your friends know that David Essel's Daily Video Boost is on for them as well. Totally available, very inexpensive, $4.95 a month for 20 videos a month at talkdavid.com. Okay? Have a beautiful day.